Hi, how are you? So today's video is first and foremost to update you guys on something that happened to me, but I also wanted to kind of have a conversation and open up a dialogue about how injuries affect the mental health of artists and athletes. She'll grow up and put on her suits and try to change the world. So let's just get right into it. Yeah, so today is Wednesday the 23rd, and on Thursday the 17th, sorry, I was checking my calendar, on Thursday the 17th of June, I sprained my ankle pretty severely. I mean, severe sounds so strong, but it was a very bad sprain. And I have never had a sprained or broken or fractured anything, pretty much. I haven't had like debilitating injuries, like injuries that stopped me from like doing things in a long time. I had one when I was younger, but like it's been so long and I'm really not used to it. And so that happened on Thursday. I'm going to tell you guys the story of how that happened, but first I'm just going to talk about like how long I'm out for or all that stuff. So that happened on Thursday. I was on crutches for like 4 or 5 days, and now I'm walking again, and it's feeling so much better. It was excruciatingly painful in the beginning, but it is getting a lot better, and I can walk again without my crutches, and I'm starting to slowly integrate some more ankle movement to build up that those muscles again. And so sometime next week I should be able to kind of get back into the swing of more advanced movements for my ankle. Now, how it happened. It's actually interesting, and this is a good point I think to make, which is that sometimes we get injured when we've done nothing wrong, when the situation was perfect and there was nothing that we could do about it. So how this happened is I was training at my home facility here in Tennessee, so like my hometown facility that I train in all the time and that I work for, and I was on a break because I had worked all morning and I had night classes, so I was on my 1 hour break in the afternoon. And of course we have a beautiful facility, so I like to train on my breaks. So I thought I'd get some tumbling training in. Now, I don't use the pit like ever. We have a foam pit, I never use it. But I wanted to use it today, that day, last Thursday. And so I was doing tumbling, so I was doing back tucks, all of this stuff. I'm going to include some clips. So this is all the stuff I was doing, and it all went wonderfully. I didn't get hurt at all. I was doing really high-leveled skills for me, and I was super proud of myself. And then I wanted to try to do a back hip circle because we have a pit bar. I wanted to try to do a back hip circle because I haven't done one since I was like 11 years old, and I just wanted to see if I could still do it. Well, turns out I can still do it, which is cool. But then I stood up onto our pit bar and I jumped into the pit. Now, this is completely allowed. It is part of the pit, like you're supposed to do that. I did absolutely nothing out of the ordinary. And in fact, I only did a straight jump. And we have a rule for our pit where you have to go in feet, butt, or back. You can't go obviously in on your head. So I was going feet first. So it was absolutely what we're supposed to be doing. And I just did a straight jump. And I don't understand how I had this much force, but I went so far down that I ended up hitting my foot on the trampoline bed. So our pit has a really tightly pulled trampoline bed at the very bottom of the blocks. Somehow I made it all the way through the blocks and I hit the bottom wrong, and I felt like a pop kind of crack, and it really shocked me, and it was really painful, and right away I knew that it was something worse than just a little hit. And so I sat in the pit for like 5 minutes. I was not alone. If I needed to, I could have yelled for help, but I was training kind of on my own in my own area. And so I just sat and like I waited and I breathed, and then I couldn't move the ankle at all, so I pulled myself out of the pit. And then I kind of walked on it, and it definitely hurt. So I walked on it, and immediately I got ice because, of course, I've been taught about rice the glorious rice. And so, of course, I rested it, and then I elevated it, and I had my boss come over and wrap the ankle really tightly to compress it with athletic tape. So that was amazing because that happened right away, and I put ice on it. So I did like everything correctly, but it was so painful. And I ended up teaching for 3 hours after that because I had my classes and I couldn't get it covered. So I just, I just coached for 3 hours, but I stayed sitting down, which was pretty odd for me because we don't coach sitting down, obviously. But I did all that, and then I was getting picked up from work. And so my mom brought crutches because I had told her what happened. So she brought me crutches because my brother had some crutches that I could use. So she brought them to me because I couldn't walk. I literally crawled over off the gym floor like I was in so much pain, and I was on crutches. And we couldn't go to urgent care because they were closed. And so we went home, and then a few hours went by, and it was just so excruciating, and I was just in hysterics, crying. And at this point, we didn't know what had happened. We didn't know if it was fractured. I've never had any type of injury like this, so it was really hard to gauge. All I knew was that I was in a lot of pain. And so my parents ended up taking me to the ER, and I was at the ER until like 4 in the morning. But I got x-rays, and they said it was not fractured or broken. Excuse me, I almost just choked on absolutely nothing. They said it was not fractured or broken, but that it was a pretty severe sprain. And they gave me all my stuff to do, and they gave me this little gel splint thing to keep on. And here we are. So I'm fine. It was pretty frustrating, and I'm gonna be okay, and it's recovering well. So that's all good. But now that long-winded story is out of the way, I want to talk about the second thing in this video, which is just how injuries can affect the mental health of athletes. I have been fortunate to take safety really seriously and take a lot of precautions, and I haven't had any severe injuries, and this one wasn't even that severe, but it was definitely shocking for me because I haven't experienced pain, physical pain like that, and just those first few days were really hard. I felt so devastated. I felt like a failure. I felt like I betrayed my body because I had hurt it so badly. And I thought about things like recovery and like, what if it doesn't get better? Because in that mindset, it's really hard, and you have, all this stuff going on in your body, and you're just not well, of course. And I was pretty depressed. Like, I've had a pretty depressed week. I've just been in this place of like, it's actually 2 parts that I've been struggling with. One is this like, will I be able to go back and like do all the things I love? And then the other thing that I think came up in my head a lot is it worth it? Like, we do all these things and we accept the risks that this can and probably will happen. But when it does happen, it's hard to justify, like, is it worth it to be in this much pain? Because I was in excruciating pain that first night, and during that, I was really, like, contemplating a lot. But I can happily say that I'm kind of out of that depression, and I am very grateful that my injury was only, like, a 2-week-ish thing, because, I am feeling hopeful. I'm feeling good. Today's the first day that I'm like walking around semi-normal, and so that is just giving me a lot of pep in my step, pun intended, of course. And but please comment down below, like, if you've had injuries, what has your experience been, and how have you stayed positive? Because it's really scary, and especially like putting this much finances and energy and passion and love into something, and seeing in like a blink of an eye that you could just mess it up for yourself. That's so hard, especially because, like, what am I going to do? I'm not going to be scared of foam pits for the rest of my life. Like, I'm probably going to stay away from our foam pit, not going to lie. I never used it before, and I probably won't use it now, especially after this. But it's not because I can't. Like, I'm not going to become scared of something and I have to just get back out there, and I can't let this affect my performance after it heals. And so I've just been thinking about that a lot because I definitely went through it this week. Anyway, I am still doing okay, and I'm very excited because on Sunday I'm going to be telling you guys what I picked for my major for year 2 at Circadium. So look forward to that, and I hope you guys have had a better week than me. I love you so much. I will see you on Sunday. I can't reach you guys. Bye.
This little Daisy girl wasn't made to